Calisthenics is a super convenient way to start getting into shape. You could train at the park or right from home. Little to no equipment is required to get started, and it's a super fun way to begin fully utilizing your actual body weight. But like any fitness training regimen, questions are going to arise. And one of the biggest of them all is, can you build muscle training just calisthenics? Today, we will dive in on what I think, of course, add my personal experiences and tips to help you guys successfully navigate the journey of building muscle training just calisthenics. First things first, let me tell you guys, you can build muscle training just calisthenics, especially in the beginning stages. Like with anything that you first start doing, your body has to properly acclimate itself. So when you're first doing calisthenics, doing your push-ups, pull-ups, dips, squats, of course you're gonna see significant changes in your physique within the first 6 to 8 months. However, after a certain amount of time of training just calisthenics, your body has been properly acclimated. So what do? Our bodies are smart, but guess what? Our minds should be smarter. You have to start making changes to your overall training regimen. So you can no longer just do push-ups, pull-ups, dips, squats, and just keep it at that same tempo. Like let's say 3 sets, 15 to 25 reps. Now you have to properly change it up. And I think that's where the question arises. Can you build muscle? In the beginning stages, yes, right? But your body adapts. I guess the bigger question should be, can you go from skinny to jacked training calisthenics? Now, are you gonna be jacked like an IFBB pro? Of course not. That requires a handful of other things. But can you build a natural jacked physique? Of course. And that first thing you should consider when training calisthenics is weighted calisthenics. Now, not everybody has access to this type of training, meaning you don't have a dip belt that you can attach weights to, or you may not have a weighted vest. I strongly suggest that you invest into these tools because it's gonna take your calisthenics game to the next level and your physique to the next level. Training just your basic body weight exercises and hoping to have a jacked physique isn't going to happen. You have to be creative. Just like guys that come out of prison training just calisthenics. Most of the time, guys, they're finding ways to be more creative. So even though they don't have access to maybe like a dip belt or weighted vest, they might find books, they might use their partner to increase that progressive overload. So then that way their body can actually begin growing. So I strongly suggest to you guys, invest into a weighted vest, dip belt, work out with a partner, have your partner do like some kind of partner resistance training. Find different ways to implement weighted calisthenics into your training regimen. From my personal experience, I can tell you, incorporating weighted pull-ups into my training regimen, especially when I was competing in bodybuilding, it helped my back tremendously. The second tip I want to give you guys is tempo changes. And tempo changes is quite simply just time under tension. The more time under tension you have with that muscle, the bigger the muscle will grow. If you don't have access to a weighted vest, dip belt, whatever it may be, because of lack of funds, or maybe you just think the investment isn't all the way worth it, which I can understand if you don't want to invest into a weighted vest, a dip belt, because you could just be creative. Incorporating different tempos are a must when you train calisthenics. And when I say tempo meaning like a 3-second lowering down. So for instance, if we're doing push-ups, I might have a 3-second lowering down into the concentric phase of the push-up. I might pause for 2 to 3 seconds, then I might rise up 2 or 3 seconds, or I may just explode up. I talked about this in previous videos where you should implement tempos into your workout regimen, especially when you're lowering down slow, pausing, really focus on exploding back up, whatever exercise it may be. Pull-ups, if you're lowering down, go down slow, and then explode with your chest to the bar, or try to get as high up on that bar as possible. This sort of training may not seem significant, but after implementing it for a while, you're gonna see changes in your strength, your power, and your physique. Your fast twitch muscle fibers are bigger in nature. So when you add that tempo effect to it, and then you explode up, that's when you're gonna see changes in your overall physique. You can incorporate tempo changes with whatever calisthenic exercise you choose to do. And if you guys want calisthenics training using tempo changes, consider checking out this video and more that I have to slowly get you guys integrated with tempo changes. The third thing I want to dive into is consider learning skills when training calisthenics to really advance your gains. Now, this is a question I recently came across where they didn't really want to entertain the idea of training skills in calisthenics. And you don't necessarily have to train skills to improve your overall aesthetic. Of course, learning handstands, handstand push-ups, muscle-ups will help you with your strength, your physique, and overall confidence. But you can still have the same thing by training dips, pull-ups, push-ups, the basic fundamentals in calisthenics. I would just consider doing them weighted, tempo, just to make sure your body won't properly adapt. However, if you're one of those guys that don't really mind just grinding for those skills in calisthenics, then of course, learn the skill. One of the best skills and exercises I highly recommend guys to learn is the handstand push-up. The handstand push-up is literally a shoulder press on the go. You're literally pressing up your entire body weight, and it's a skill you can use for the rest of your life. The handstand push-up isn't super advanced. Sure, it may look a bit intimidating, and the grind for it is exceptionally real, but with patience and consistency, you'll get that handstand push-up and you'll have that skill for the rest of your life. Same thing with the full planche, which I'm currently training for. Planche push-ups look absolutely intimidating, but amazing to do. Just think about it. You're pressing up your entire body weight with the handstand push-up, but when you do a planche push-up, your shoulders are significantly past your hands. So your entire body weight is primarily loaded upon your anterior delts. And being able to do planche push-ups, not only is it a flex, but I also heard through the grapevine that people who are able to do planche push-ups have a really good bench press despite not bench pressing. So learning the more advanced skills in calisthenics will of course help you guys become more jacked when training calisthenics. One more thing I want to add with the handstand push-ups, if you don't want to learn them freestanding, consider doing them on the wall. They're just as effective. Just when you do them freely, you're adding that balancing aspect. But if you really don't care about learning the freestanding handstand push-up, just do the handstand push-up on the wall. But other than that, guys, that's all I really have for you when it comes to building muscle training just calisthenics. Again, you're not gonna be built like an IFBB pro, but you're gonna be pretty jacked just training calisthenics. You just gotta find ways to be creative if you don't have access to a weighted vest, dip belt, you don't wanna learn the skills. Be creative, incorporate time under tension, so that way you guys can avoid hitting a plateau when it comes to adding muscle to your physique. If you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you're properly subscribed. I'll see you guys next video. Peace and love as always, and I shade. Boom, we out, baby.